Hello and welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host, Tammy Jo Johnson. Joy in Our Town brings you the issues and problems that are faced in the local community with the hope of finding a solution. Our guest for this segment is Elnora L. Jenkins, Director for the Gertrude Wood Community Foundation. She joins us today to share important information regarding the One Street at a Time program, along with the challenges associated with rehabilitating houses in low-income areas of Central Ohio. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
You're welcome. So, Elnora, tell us a little bit about yourself first and your position with the Gertrude Wood Community Foundation.
Sure. I have been working as the director of the Gertrude Wood Community Foundation since 2005, and that is since the inception of the organization. I have a long social work background, and I have a passion to help people. Prior to coming to the Gertrude Wood Community Foundation, I worked in state and local government for 40+ years. So I retired from the State Department of Mental Health in 2005 and immediately started working for the Gertrude Wood Community Foundation.
Wow, so this is not just a job for you, this is a passion.
This is a passion. My mother told me at an early age that she knew I was going to be about helping people. She just said I had that spirit, and she said that that's what I would probably be doing the rest of my life, and she was absolutely right.
Wow.
Retirement wasn't the traditional retirement for me. I've been working full-time ever since I retired from state government.
Wow, that's a new thing. Most retirees don't stop working. It's like a new thing.
That's correct. That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about the Gertrude Wood Community Foundation. What is it and what is its mission?
Sure. The Gertrude Wood Community Foundation, we are a faith and community-based organization, and our mission is to provide social and educational services to families and youth in our target area. We are an outgrowth of a church, Bethany Baptist Church, and it sits in the heart of the Driving Park community. So we primarily provide services within that community and surrounding areas.
Wow. And so where does the One Street at a Time, where does that come into that program?
One Street at a Time is one of the programs of the Gertrude Wood Community Foundation. We provide a variety of programs and services to our targeted community, and housing is one of those programs.
So does One Street at a Time imply what it says, One Street at a Time?
Well, yes, it does. We have a lot of vacant and abandoned houses in our community, and we have a lot of people in need of housing. So our goal is to develop and create quality and affordable housing to low to moderate income families in our community. And we didn't want to do it just randomly, a house here, a house there. So we targeted a street in our community, and our initial goal is to impact that street by creating quality and affordable housing.
So are you in partnership with, or are you the same thing as like a Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority? Like, how is that different? Is it different?
It is different. We are a community development corporation. We operate as a CDC. Okay. We are developers, but we are nonprofit developers. Our goal primarily is to create affordable housing, to rid our community of the blight that exists as a result of vacant and abandoned houses, and to create affordable housing for families that are in need of a place to live, a decent place to live.
Okay.
The Gertrude Wood Community Foundation, we have a target area. Our boundaries for our target area includes Parsons Avenue to the west, Alum Creek to the east, East Main Street to the north, and Freebirth Avenue to the south. Now, Driving Park is in the heart of those boundaries. Okay. So we provide services to the Driving Park, and when we say surrounding communities, it includes that entire boundary. Wow. For the One Street at a Time project, currently we are rehabbing and constructing homes on 2 streets in the community, in the Driving Park community, and those 2 streets are Miller and Ellsworth Avenues between East Livingston Avenue and Whittier Street.
Wow. So you have a whole construction team, and you outsource all that stuff, right?
I wish we had a team, but we do have a contractor. Okay. We have 2 contractors that we actually work with, and they're responsible for rehabbing existing structures in the community as well as new construction. And then we have our staff. We have a construction manager who oversees that project. I oversee all of our community development initiatives. And then we have some wonderful partners who work with us to provide resources for us to get this job done.
But guess what? That's a team.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that is a team.
Sounds like a team to me. So do you have any challenges that you face? Like, what are some of the challenges that you face getting these houses rehabbed?
Well, resources is always a challenge, and I'm speaking specifically of funding. In order to rehab homes, it's very costly. And even though when we rehab existing structures, we attempt to do what we call a moderate rehab. And even with that, it can be very costly because many of the homes that we get have been vacant and abandoned for a number of years. And the infrastructure is just in such a state of disrepair, it's very costly to rehab the homes. But, you know, through the support that we receive from the team, we are able to rehab some of these homes. But that still is a challenge for us, is identifying adequate resources to do our rehabs and new construction.
Right, but you get it done, though.
We get it done.
Nice.
We're moving slow, but very methodically throughout this process, because we want to not only get it done, but we want to do it right.
So what type of moral impact do you think this causes on the community in that area specifically?
One thing I didn't share earlier is I'm a product of the community. I lived in the community throughout my childhood and most of my adulthood. I still attend church in the community, and now I work in the community. So I'm very connected to the community, and I've seen the changes in the community over the years. And I think the major moral impact is that the sense of neighbor has been taken out of neighborhood. When you live in a home and you have a vacant lot on both sides of you and you have abandoned property across the street, it's hard to be my brother's keeper, so to speak. So I think that's one of the major challenges in terms of the blight that currently exists in our community.
Well, one of the objectives that you have is to train people. Are you training the residents as they enter into the homes on how to live and how to upkeep them and in general, or do you offer specific training on something else?
Yeah, we have a variety of training to help the existing residents in the community as well as new residents coming into the community. We have our Operation Beautification training where we invite community residents to come in and learn about how to upkeep their front and rear yards, how to plant flowers, how to develop community gardens and things along that line. And then we have our One Home program for existing homeowners as well as new homeowners, where we conduct financial literacy classes, where we teach them about managing their finances. And then we also have a credit restoration program. These are for individuals who are interested in home ownership, but their credit profile that they currently have will not allow that. So we put them in a program, develop a coaching plan for them, and once they work that plan, then we can send them to one of our lenders to get pre-approved for financing.
Wow, so that's a complete circle of program that you offer.
It is.
And so it doesn't even have to, the house doesn't even have to be built for the services to take place, right?
Exactly, exactly. We start working with families before we even match them to a house or pair them with a house. We start working with them so that not only they can get approved to buy a home, but once they're in that home, they can manage their finances to an extent that they can keep the home.
Wow. And so do you work with any other nonprofit organizations in that community or even outside of that community? What about just here in Central Ohio, period? Do you partner with anybody else?
Well, our goal is always to partner with other organizations to maximize our resources. No one entity can get a job completely done without partnering with other organizations. So we partner with local businesses in our community. We partner with other nonprofit organizations in the community that share or their interests align with our mission and our vision. Of course, we work with our local civic association, our area commission, and then we have our partners that provide the resources for us to get the job done.
Wow. And so how do you screen people that are in the community? Do you have a central location where they come and they begin the process?
Our office is located at 975 Bullen Avenue. That's B-U-L-E-N Avenue. And you could come to that office and you can inquire about our programs and services. We do more than just housing. So
Right.
people can come in and inquire about some of our other programs and services, and we have an intake process that we can conduct right there on the spot.
Wow, you can tell you're passionate about this. That's amazing.
I am. I love what I do. I love helping people who are in need of assistance. So
Right.
I'm doing what I love to do.
So tell us what's the future plans of the Gertrude Wood, or the One Street at a Time, or the Gertrude Wood Community Foundation?
Well, the future plans of One Street at a Time, our immediate plans, of course, is to make a great impact on the 2 streets that we're working on. We still have quite a number of homes there and, that we want to rehab, and quite a number of vacant lots that we want to do some new construction on those lots. Our more long-term plan for One Street at a Time is to get into some commercial rehab right there on Livingston Avenue. Nice. We need to bring small businesses back to our community. That's a part of revitalizing the community. Yeah. And I think probably one of the larger plans for the Gertrude Wood Community Foundation is just to continue to identify needs in the community and work toward addressing those needs, especially in relationship to our youth in the community, programs for our youth, etc.
Wow. So, you know, as we're beginning to wrap up the show, what advice can you give residents of neighborhoods like that, like yours, or any other neighborhood where they're facing a lot of vacant properties and it doesn't feel as, like you said, as neighborly because of that? What advice can you give to them?
The first advice is to get involved in your community. If you live there, you should be involved in your community.
Be the change you want to see.
Exactly. and that's how you make an impact. That's how you make a change. Sitting and complaining about it won't do it. You need to get involved, and you can do that by joining your civic association. In our area, we have the Driving Park Civic Association. So there's a civic association in every community throughout the city of Columbus. So get involved in your civic association. Be a voice when you go to your area commission meetings. Speak up and let them know what's going on in your community. If you have a house next door to you that's been abandoned and you see some things going on over there that you don't like, you know, get involved, and you can call the city of Columbus and file a complaint. So that's the initial step, is just getting involved.
Wow. So, you know, we're getting ready to end the show, but give us your contact information, or a way that residents or just viewers that are interested in learning more or helping out, or how can they get in touch with you? Our
telephone number is 614-252-7456. And then we also have a website, and a lot of the information regarding our program and services is on the website. And the website is www.gwoodfoundation.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I can tell you're passionate about it, and I know that there are great things in the future for Gertrude Wood Community Foundation and for One Street at a Time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation.
You're welcome. Coming up next on Joy in Our Town, kinship care. Stay with us. We'll be right back.